In downtown Dallas, President Kennedy was shot today just as his motorcade left downtown Dallas. Mrs. Kennedy jumped up and grabbed Mr. Kennedy. She cried, "Oh no." The motorcade sped on. A photographer said he saw blood on the president's head. It was believed 2 shots were fired.
Mrs. Kennedy, hello.
Hi.
What brings you in today?
Well, as you and the rest of the country know, Jack was shot a year ago, and I was sitting right next to him, and ever since then, nothing has been the same.
Mrs. Kennedy experienced direct exposure to a traumatic event.
Have you been experiencing flashbacks?
Yes, I have, all the time, every day. When I try to go to sleep and I close my eyes, I see him sitting right next to me with his open head on my lap. I see the blood on my face.
Jackie had intrusive thoughts, nightmares, and flashbacks.
I hear the noise of the shot. I can't get in cars.
Throughout her day-to-day life, Mrs. Kennedy experienced trauma-related reminders.
I just feel so guilty. I knew we shouldn't have gone to Texas, and now that he's gone, I have nobody.
Jackie blamed herself and felt isolated.
Ever since Jack died, Jackie has been a complete wreck. She's been smoking way more often than she should be. She hasn't been sleeping. Whenever she would plan Jack's funeral, she would just get so mad and erase all of her plans. But then after she cooled off, she was fine and she carried on with her planning. Whenever her kids bring up Jack, it's just awful. Jackie gets mad. We can't help it. I can tell she can't. She just feels awful about it.
How long have these thoughts and feelings been present?
Well, it's been a year since the day he died. And ever since then, that's when they started up. The flashbacks, the not sleeping. I haven't been the same.
Her symptoms lasted for over a month.
To sum up my feelings, quite frankly, my life has been abnormal for the past couple of months. I don't do any of the things that I used to. I don't plan parties, I don't decorate, and now I'm just flat. I just don't have any emotions, and nothing helps me.
Jackie's symptoms created distress and functional impairment.
Well, just one last question for you, Mrs. Kennedy. Are you using or under the influence of any medication?
No, I would never.
Lastly, her symptoms were not due to medication or substance abuse.
Well, Mrs. Kennedy, I can assure you that you are not alone in these struggles.
7 to 8% of all people will develop PTSD in their lifetime. Women are twice as likely as men, and age is not a factor.
These feelings are present because of your exposure to a traumatic event. You may also be genetically predisposed to develop such a reaction to such a traumatic event.
PTSD is nurture heavy, but can also be influenced by genetic predisposition. In the 1960s, Bandura's research on language development challenged the behaviorist perspective. Cognitive therapy is widely practiced today. Cognitive therapists believe that what we think influences what we feel. Negative thoughts are relabeled and replaced.
Now, what do you think about the day your husband died? What is your reaction? What are your subsequent feelings when you think back to that day?
I feel like it was all my fault. I think if we wouldn't have been in that car with the top down, I could have saved him. He wouldn't be dead now.
Aaron Beck gently engaged the patient in conversation, then revealed how rational they were being in hopes that the patient's outlook would change.
Now, I have to stop you right there. People use cars, Miss Kennedy, every day. Cars are a safe way to get places. The car had nothing at all to do with the reason why he was shot. He was the president of the United States. People weren't going to like him.
Okay, that helps. But the worst part is when I think about him, every time I think of my husband, I can't think about him without having the flashbacks and seeing the bullet and seeing the wound in his head. How do I think about him?
Mike and Baum focused on how negative thoughts created negative feelings. He tried to change negativity into positive thinking.
When you think of Jack, Think about the day you brought your children home with him. Think about bringing those beautiful children into the world, knowing that they were his kids. Think about those loud parties with you standing beside him smiling. Think about the times you guys laughed together, any silly moment. Think about the good you had with your husband.
Okay, I'll try.